Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Florida MFT Interest Network Town Hall meeting for November of 2019. We are very excited this evening to do something of a follow-up event. Those of you who are keeping track, last month we had Jennifer Sneeden talk to us about ways to market and build our practice. And one of the major things that she talked about was having a web presence. As you can see, Sarah Walker, the newly minted Dr. Sarah Walker, has our website up. And she's been very kind to not point and laugh at all the inadequacies of our website. But tonight, what she's going to do is help us put together our first and very exciting, our own YouTube channel, which is where this very recording and all of our other recordings will live going into the future. So we're very excited and we hope that as you see this, you'll go into our channel and look for more of our offerings. And so Dr. Sarah Walker, I know that you are a therapist and blacksmith, and I believe you're a musician, and I'm not sure what all that you are, but certainly one of the things you are is handy with the technology, and you're going to be very kind to us and tell us that this is kindergarten stuff, and that we should have already known this, but we appreciate you walking us through this process.
Well, thank you. So yes, this is the 101. And I will say, yeah, the self-depreciation for the website, it's always important to just start with where you are and start with what you have. And so a website, and this site particularly, is much better than no site. So once you have, it's kind of like when you're writing, once you have your draft, then you can always do rewriting, you can always do refining and assessing and integrating kind of feedback and whatnot. And then, so the last step that we may or may not get to tonight is analyze, optimizing, and repeating. So that's kind of part of the process for all of your web presence. So yeah, we're here at the webpage for Finn. And in order to create a YouTube account, the first thing you need is a Google account. The easiest way to do that is with a Gmail email. However, you don't need one. And you guys can let me know if I'm going too fast, or if you have like clarifying.
So we don't have to have a Gmail account.
No,
we don't have to have a Gmail account, but so we can use for the YouTube channel that we're going to build tonight, we can use our actual email account, which is Florida Interest Network at aamft.org. Is that correct?
Yes. So I'm going to ask you for that in a moment. So you need access to the account, and I'll be asking for a phone number, and you can text me the password that you want me to set for that.
Okay.
You do or don't have an iPhone?
I do not have an iPhone. I have an Android.
Okay, perfect. Because if you had an iPhone, it would pop up on my computer.
Interesting. I have an iPhone. That's interesting.
Well, if you have it synced, which I do, so I've told people who regularly will text me with iPhones to not do that during the next hour and a half.
Okay.
So that it won't keep popping up? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I'll be seeing my texts. There is a way to disable it. It's easier to tell the people who are predictable to not.
Okay.
So I'm going to type in where you create an account, and that way, like, I'm going to do the steps for you in case you happen to want to create another account. So it's accounts.google.com/sign up without email. So then you'll get that you can create a Google account. So you see at the bottom, they say create a Gmail account instead, which we don't want. So first name, I'm not sure if they're going to make us do an actual person's name. So let's just try. Annalyn, if they want a name, can I put yours?
Sure.
So we'll try this. And what's the email address again?
Florida Interest Network at aamft.org.
May I offer a suggestion?
Yes.
I'm thinking that for the first name, if we could put Florida Interest Network, and then in the last name, can we put AAMFT?
Yes.
What do you think, Annalyn?
Sure.
It's
It makes clear our association.
yes. And I'm assuming I got a text from you, but I also am on Do Not Disturb.
Yes, I sent a text with a proposed password.
Okay.
Is that okay with you?
It's not popping up yet.
Okay. So just to confirm then, so when Tom here starts his own, he'll go into accounts.google.com/sign up
Without Gmail.
Unless of course he has one.
Yes. So if you want, that's the other thing. It's whatever account you want notifications to come up with. So how are you going to be interacting online? So like for me, I don't want to use my personal account. So see you see mine right now is paused up here. So I logged out of that because that's like my personal YouTube subscriptions. It's kind of I've got kind of a very basic page right now. I am not seeing a text from you. Can you go ahead and just email it? Is that possible?
I guess I could email it. I'm surprised it didn't text through. Well, you know why? Because I didn't hit send.
There we go.
I have a cold.
These things happen.
Yes. Tom is shaking his head. Oh God, who is running this loony bin? Yes.
I need one more character, so just text me what the last character is going to be, because it has to be
okay.
8 words.
It needs one more. Okay. How about that?
Let's try it and see. Yes. So you're going to need to check that email.
Oh, so I have to go to that email now. Oh.
Yeah. So we
okay.
need access to the email.
All righty. Didn't tell me that. I'm going to have to go do something to do that. So, all right. Where'd it go? Where'd you go?
In the meantime, what we'll talk about,
please,
is so one of the things when you're thinking about signing up for the account, and hopefully you already have done this, and you kind of have content that you've wanted to create. So you're thinking about for your practice or for Florida Interest Network or whatever, what is it that you're trying to advertise? Like, what's the purpose of your business that you're creating a channel for? Who is your target audience? How do they typically interact? And so hopefully these are questions that you've begun to answer already. They're basic advertising kind of marketing. So when you have like who your intended audience or customer is, then it helps you, one, create content, and two, know how you're getting that content to whoever it is that you're wanting to have it. Are there any questions from anyone other than Annalyn right now? Because she's working.
So our targeted audience is folks interested in systemic theory thinking. We're trying to be inclusive and interdisciplinary. So we would reach out to, hello, systems thinkers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they typically interact, so I don't know how to answer that question.
So when you think about systems thinkers, and then your other broad category was like with diversity.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start with systems thinkers. So there's a couple of different ways that I can think of that you would be targeting your audience. So one would be people in training, so in their programs. The other would be those in supervision, and then others would be people in the field. So they would be the ones who are getting continued education.
Okay.
So it depends, and each of those have some overlap, but you're going to want to reach each of them in different ways, and some of them would be easier to reach in some ways and more of a challenge in others.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure, I maybe have missed some categories of systems thinkers, because there are, interdisciplinary systems thinkers as well. So that would be another category.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, first and foremost, we're reaching out to the practice of couples and family therapy, obviously. But then we also want to be inclusive of other disciplines that also embrace, systems thinking and couples and family therapy. So, but our primary audience would be those in the field of LMFT.
Yes.
Or MFT degrees in that sense.
Mm-hmm. So the kind of your most direct path then would be to go through training programs in Florida.
Okay.
Because they have contact not only with current students, but also alum.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Are we making any progress with the email thus far?
We are not making much progress because it's telling me that I don't have the right password.
Okay.
So, so this is not good. Is there another way for us to get into?
For this, no, but I can go on with the sample account.
Let's do that, and we'll figure out as we go along.
Is it possible that the password that you text may be case sensitive and wasn't entered?
No, we're talking about the password for our email.
Oh.
Yeah, for Florida Interest Network at WMFT.org.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So how do I make this go away? Okay, so instead what we will do is I will create a new channel, a sample channel. And I gave you guys the web page, but I already changed my page. I need to write it down. Here we go. So I will do, my mom is here. She's going to be my assistant. Do you have an iPhone charger?
I do.
May I please borrow? Okay. So we'll just do this.
Now, how important is it you can create a whole new email to do this if you want to, right?
Yes. Oh, this is a new email that I'm using. So I don't really have anything established with this account here that I'm going to create.
So other than you don't have to use this email. Well, you will use this email then for things having to do with your channel.
Yes. Yes. So I have this linked to my phone, so I should be getting an email any second through my phone, so I don't have to log in with my screen share. So we're just doing a code and verifying that this is in fact my account.
All right, there we go.
You have it optional to do a phone number, which will help with the login process.
Okay.
And I would do my organization date, but I'm not going to, because I don't know if you have to be a certain age. And I will go and identify my gender. And then I'm just going to verify my phone number. So this is just basic sign up process.
Nowadays, if you have an email through any sort of company, you have to go through this and on some periodic basis.
Right.
Double verification, or your bank. I don't know, my bank makes me go through this several times every year.
Mine too, yeah.
So I'm going to skip. And I have read these privacies and terms before. I would recommend that you read them. So I've done it before, so I'm going to rush through it for the sake of our time.
But apparently there are things in there one should read, I guess.
As a general rule, yes.
Okay.
So now I have a Google account, which I didn't before for that email. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to YouTube. And automatically I'm signed in with this Google account through, I'm using a Chrome browser. So thank you. And in case I need to use my phone for anything else, I'm doing that. This is going to be interesting because, can I move these? Yes. Now you're at the bottom, that's better. And the screen's kind of repopulating here. So once you have signed up with your new account, you signed up your new Google account and you go to YouTube and you're signed in through your browser, you come up here to the corner. So it has my name and my email and my Google account. Everyone's following right now kind of where this was. And right here, this is how you create a YouTube channel. Very high tech. I click here and I say get started. So I can use my name or I can use a custom name. So I'm going to use a custom name here. And I want my channel name to be my newly established nonprofit. And it's loading. So there we go. We just created a new YouTube channel. This is the nuts and bolts of it. It's very basic. So you kind of just go through. The first thing it wants me to do is to have a profile picture. This was what I was kind of capturing some of those images from the WMFT Fin page. However, on my desktop, I have a photo of me. And that's going to be my new picture. So I'm going to tell people about my channel. So this is a really important step. This is just, basics. So I'm filling out about me. So on the channel description, I want to give just a basic overview. And this is important. Think about the mission of your organization and the mission of your message here. The mission of like your channel. So for my new nonprofit, which is still, it's very much in its infancy stages. my mission is to help people live healthy lives through creativity, coaching, and consulting. This could be a whole different video because about writing a mission statement for your channel and for your business, but I'm going with this is where I am in my process right now. So we're just going to start with where we are. See, I have the opportunity for 1,000 words. But because
like you were going to use our missions, our mission straight from our website.
I would have gone ahead and just dropped that. And if I needed to tweak it for the channel, so it's to share content about the mission, and to create an online video community for, I will just go ahead here, you know, being a virtual home for members who are without a local chapter. And so this is absolutely applicable here to provide and support professional educational opportunities for student members as well as professional and licensed members. So yeah, this is all very applicable. And so what you have here would help for what we were talking about when we were trying to retrieve the email. It's all here. So just by reading this, the question that's being answered is that you're focusing on student members primarily. So that would probably be what you're focusing on for the content that you're creating. So here you would be adding links to your sites. I don't have those yet, but I absolutely would have been adding, you know, this website here. And then as you can also go back to this. So this kind of gives you your to-do list for where your website is. So it's asking for Facebook, and you interact with each of these social media platforms in different ways. Your Twitter and your Instagram, and you can link all of these with your YouTube page, and that's further down the road. So yeah, I need to move you guys again.
Our videos, you mean over here?
No, on my share screen, is it showing you or is it just my screen?
It's I see your screen and all of our videos.
Yeah, so I just moved you over so I could see the save and continue, so I can access my full screen.
Yep.
So it'll take a minute to load. Are there any questions about that stage?
No, I'm feeling the look. So I see how it comes up and how it looks like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Now
so,
people can come see you even if they're not subscribers.
Yes. So there's different ways to do your settings for your videos. So if you want to have selective videos that are kind of private, that you're only sending to certain people, for example, you can do that. And I'm not sure if we will or will not get that far today, but it's a possibility. There are some private videos that will be like by kind of link or invitation only. You have to add that specific. So here's where I was talking about you're customizing your channel. So the kind of sample that I did, I'm going to add channel art. This is where I would have dropped that banner with the mission statement that you had there. But I just chose a generic video of a sunrise that I'm going to upload, but I'm gonna show you a little bit like with branding, because I had a sunrise video that we're going to upload. For the banner, I'm putting a sunset. So for the desktop, this is how it's going to look. So across your computer, for your TV. So if someone were to pull up this YouTube channel, this is what it would look like initially. And then on the YouTube channel, it would just be up top. And so I can adjust kind of what's going to show for those smaller things. So maybe I want the colors more here. And then I can look at the preview again. So it's a different image, and so it just shows part of it. And I'm going to move this back so I can select. You can always like fiddle with auto enhancer, so that would probably give me filters for the photo. I'm not going to go into that right now. Doesn't seem like the most useful way that we could spend our time. Does anyone have any questions about that?
It's making sense. Good.
Mm-hmm. So now you can see how we're starting to build a brand. So this would be like the creativity portion of this page. So you have me with an anvil, it's black and white for my kind of thumbnail for that. You're starting to get this. And so I'm creating some consistency here is what I'm hoping for. So for uploads, I don't have any yet. So I can go over here under home to my channel. And so it's asking me to upload a video to get started. So when we had talked before, I'll show you. You had asked about specific formats that the videos need to be saved. And I'm going to show you where those questions are answered right on there. Because you can do it from a lot of different ways. So this video that I'm uploading is not particularly high quality. So you can kind of see some of the information about it here. I took this on my phone, and it's just a slow motion sunrise. This is loading rather fast. When I loaded it earlier, when I created a test to kind of go through this process a little streamlined. Oh, see, it's processing. So this was, yeah, it loaded, but now it's processing. So it's kind of converting it. So in terms of here, your videos will process faster if you encoded it into a streamable file format. For more information, visit our help center. So I'm going to go ahead and click that link so you have all the information, or you can access it. So here are the recommendations. So here you have, it's for an MP4 is what it's recommended. And you can kind of go into all of the tech. Okay.
Right at the moment, that's all in Swahili for me.
Yes, so MP4 is the answer.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this was a separate tab, so I'm just going to go ahead and close it. It's still at 0% processing. So what are the questions, comments, and concerns right now? Because it's going to take a little bit for this to process.
Would a person always use the MP4?
So it's saying it'll process faster if you do that. So the file that I had was just one that I took from my iPhone. And it was a .mov file. I'm not particularly high tech with that, but they're saying that that's what's recommended.
Okay.
So,
Yes,
so some of what we're going to want to post up is are the Zoom recordings, and for which we have a URL. We have a link. So any idea how that might get loaded up?
So
she had a little smile there, so maybe not. But we can go to AMFT for that.
Yeah, my strength is in being a tinkerer.
Ah.
So I did all of this. I created my first YouTube channel just to post videos that I recorded on my laptop, just playing songs. So very, very low tech. And I didn't do a lot with them. So I'm talking to you guys as a person who is a good learner. Because we were having lunch one day and I told Annalyn that I could help her create a YouTube channel. And so I have some other expertise, so it all kind of flows together.
So if someone created a video on their laptop or on their smartphone, they would be able to upload that file, because it would be a file on the computer. You could upload that by clicking on it just like you did.
Yes, there may be some more processing to get it into a particular format that's necessary. And so it just depends on what kind of file it is. And
hey, it's up, by the way.
Yeah, it's done processing. So one of the things that we can do is just click publish. Oh, first we want to do a description. So we want to give our video a title. So this is really important. Because this is what's going to optimize you for search. So you want to give it a descriptive title, and then you want to actually describe what it is, and then you want to give it tags. You don't want to overdo it with the tags, but so sunrise, slow motion. So it's very descriptive. This is literally an ocean sunrise. Ocean sunrise in slow motion. So this video was recorded at Fort Lauderdale Beach on November 23rd, 2017 with iPhone, and I don't remember what kind of iPhone I had at that time, at 5:54 a.m. So tags: bird flying, slow motion, ocean, sunrise. You feel like that's enough descriptive tags for this particular video?
I'd put Fort Lauderdale Beach.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
Florida, yeah, or South Florida.
I mean, that's a great,
Fort Lauderdale
beach.
Yeah.
South Florida. I'll give the proper nouns for this one, not the last one.
South Florida in winter.
Ooh.
It's November 23rd.
Yeah.
He's freezing, and
Yeah, it's freezing in most other places. We're not far off from 2-year anniversary. Yeah. Okay. So you get, so we don't want to go too crazy here. Like with hashtags, if less is more. You want them to be effective. I did say this is a slow motion video. South Florida winter, you said. I think that's a great one. So I want to go ahead and publish this to make it live. So it's saving the changes. So now it's live. So I can share it onto any of my social. I could just choose another social media platform to share it with. So Facebook, Twitter, all the others. You can also embed it. So this would allow you to drop it into your website.
oh,
That particular video. There's also a way to do it with your channel. But this is for this particular video. If you wanted to like plant it somewhere, that's how you do that. And then you could also blast it on your email list. I don't know that I should have done that. let's see what we just loaded. Oh, yeah. So this, you can go through these tutorials of the YouTube Studio. I'm not going to do that right now unless that's what you guys want. I'm just going to say got it.
I think people can, if they want to dive deeper, they can do that. Yep.
Yeah, so this is if I want to do another file, another video on the beta. Oh, okay. This is the beta version. So this is not, it doesn't have the same type of animation as normal. Like you kind of have your Google view instead of your YouTube view. And I don't know how to get back to my other view. So we're just going to stay here. So here, I could click to look at details, analytics, comments, and more for each of my videos. So this is useful to see like how your video is performing compared to other videos, and it will give you insight for why that might be. So I will go ahead and click on it so we can look at it. So this is how you get to specific information. So if I were to publish this video on any of my social media or website, when it started getting traction, if it would, this is where I would go to kind of manage it. So one of the most important things is what we did was we did our basics to set up our page. We filled in about the channel. We created our art, which is for some consistency with your branding. We wanted to talk about knowing your market, which we talked about kind of while we were waiting in the meantime. So how do you approach content for your market? And you could do that in a lot of different ways. So it may be testimonials. So if you're marketing to students, you can interview students and have them speak to what it is that Finn did. So after you have, it's biannual events.
We're doing town halls almost every month.
Okay. Yeah, so you could do a video through the town hall on the channel and kind of give recaps where you're interviewing students about that. So I just uploaded my first official video, which you see here. I guess we could actually watch it or have it going on the background while we're talking, because it's pretty. It'll get quiet in a second once it goes into slow motion. So this is live. People can look up, find what fits, and see the sunrise on November 23rd.
And since there aren't any connections yet, all that stuff off to the right-hand side is just whatever whatever YouTube wants to put there.
Yeah, so it would begin to customize things related to my tags, related to my searches, related to my content under this Google account. So eventually, if this were Finn's page, you would be probably having WMFT and other therapy channels that would populate there that are related to your searches that you do on YouTube and the content that you post. So I'll put at about 1.5 minutes, something exciting happens. You get to see a bird flying slow motion on this sunrise. So one of the most important things to do is to, obviously, you want to optimize for search. So that's where all of, see the bird? That's where all the descriptive words, that's where, I spelled Fort Lauderdale Beach wrong. I can go back and edit that. Look, we're gonna do that now so I can show you. This is good. We're learning through mistakes. And I have to move this again to save my change. Did I miss anything else? I don't think so. Okay. So one of the most important things after all the search optimization and actually posting your content is that you stay consistent. So if this is the only thing that I ever did with this page, it's not effective. So one of the things that you want to do is shortly after you create your content and upload your first video, which I don't know why okay, it's still thinking, is you want to begin to kind of plan out what your next videos are. So if this was all I was doing on this page, I'd probably change something like, this is a daily view of sunrises in Fort Lauderdale Beach, or a weekly sunrise. And that would be a really easy channel. And you know what? There are probably people who would watch it. Or maybe with seasonal affective disorder. I'm making it clinical. Dr. Shania would be so proud.
Yes, he would.
Yeah. So yeah, and then we already talked about integrating the channel into kind of the purpose of this, which was, you know, continuity with your advertising and how clients search for you. Oh, the next step, besides planning out, like, so you want to plan out your next video. So in this example, then I would want to say, okay, since we're coming up on November 23rd, hopefully in the next month or the next week, or however often I want to manage this, because it could be a lot to create a lot of content. So that's part of with your community, that you want to be intentional about how often they would want to see content and how you're engaging. So you engage in a number of different ways. You want to build your community around this, and you want them, like, they would get excited about your content and they would expect some consistency from you. So you would reply to comments, you would ask questions, and you would just listen to them. So if there's something that they're asking for that's within your mission, within your values, then give it to them. And if it's something that's unrelated, then you could choose how you manage that. Whether than to say, this isn't necessarily our mission, or to not respond to it. But just, you know, be respectful.
So I have a question.
Yes.
How will we as board members receive communication that there's electronic communication on the YouTube channel?
You'll get notification on that email account that you're registered with. And you could also sign in through here, like as a regular, depending on how much content you have on there.
Mm-hmm.
You could just check it on a regular basis and you'll see. So here, let me channel videos. I don't know why this is not updating.
Because you didn't hit save?
I did, but it never like went away from that
Mm.
page. View on YouTube. Sorry. There we go. I will go ahead and create some information for us to look at so you could see the notifications. So copy. Because I haven't saved it yet, so.
But it did take your save because it corrected Fort Lauderdale.
Yes. I'm trying to think of how I want to log in. Here, this is interesting. So I'm going to look through my phone and see if I can find this video. It's not going to be optimized yet for searching. So I can go to YouTube on my phone and look for it, because I want to kind of show you the notification if I can find it. Otherwise, I'll log into something and send it.
Like, for example, right now on my iPhone, I am connected to the university email. So I receive emails coming in. So I have two accounts. I have my personal one and I have my university emails on my iPhone.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm thinking of is if we would have that feature coming into our telephones, or would we rotate who would have it at one time? You see what I'm saying? So I'm just,
I see. Yeah, you're talking in terms
Yeah.
of how would we as the
organization how you're going to
yeah,
do
how
right.
would we be managing this? That's I guess my question. I'm trying to think.
Right, which is something we as a board will have to figure out. But for the people watching this video,
Mhm.
basically what I'm understanding is that you would get notifications to your email much as you would any other email. You would just get an email that says there's a comment, and I'm assuming from there you'd be able to go in or respond to it in some fashion.
Okay.
So it becomes just another email source that you get notification about. Is that correct? Oh, so there it is.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
So I just searched my new channel name
Okay.
and it pulled up. So I'm going to like it from my phone.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Sarah, do you have your YouTube app on your phone?
I do,
Okay.
but I just looked that up through the browser
Okay.
just because I had the browser more handy.
Okay. Okay.
I have the YouTube app on a different channel.
All right.
So far we have 3 views, which I'm pretty sure are all me. But it's good.
Mhm.
So I'm just waiting to see if it's going to pop up as an email that I have a like on my video. So far it hasn't updated. I may not have the best connection here. But now I think we could go to analytics. So see, there's an overview.
Ah,
So it shows you total views, other metrics over time. Make it easier to see the video's trajectory since it's been published. And you can look at different time ranges. So the video hasn't been in existence for quite 15 minutes. So this, I'm pretty sure, was the first time we looked at it. That was after we edited it. This was my 3rd view. Oh, my mom pulled it up, so it's going to get another one soon. It'll show you how many times it's watched and then how many subscribers I have to my new channel. So yeah, it's probably from an organizational standpoint, it would be someone's job, whether that was one person who was appointed or on a rotating basis to kind of manage this.
or if Tom, you were to create your channel, then this would be, a one person job to monitor, to respond to, and things like that.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and refresh because I did give it a like to see if any of that will pop up so you can kind of see what it looks like. Yeah, it's just going to take time so you can get the data.
So I have another question. So let's say the clinician is really, really busy, and let's say, Tom, you want to, take a holiday. Can you put your existing YouTube temporarily inactive?
You don't need to.
Okay.
It's just you're not going to interact with it. So one of the ways that you generate traction here is by being active. It is by putting out new content. It is by responding when people leave comments, have likes. It's an interactive thing. So rather than like in therapy, real time, we're able to answer questions, give feedback for our observations, etc. It's a delayed feedback. So if it's inactive because you're not active on it, it's not going to be a problem. You can go on vacation and just leave it to do its thing. It depends on the tone that you're setting with your channel.
Okay.
for how engaged you are with your audience, and how active you are with your community. So you could also like leave a video and say, hey, for Finn, I'm going to engage in some self-care and I'm going to go on vacation. Can you guys comment about the most recent vacations you've had and what kind of restorative benefits you've had from being away?
Nice. Yeah.
So then you're utilizing your break to be really intentional about the content that you're creating.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So in many ways, this is yet another sort of email account or Facebook account. It's another one of those. The difference is that it's all driven by videos and then conversations about those videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's different ways that YouTube can be effective. Like one of them is that things go viral. That really depends on the content that you're creating. In general, if you're just going to be in your office talking, unless it's something that's earth-shattering that you're sharing, that happens to like speak to what's going on in larger cultural in a way that people really will respond to, you're not going to have that type of reaction. The other thing is a lot of engagement and content that people are connecting with. So that all goes back to your audience and how you're connecting.
And what you want to put out there.
Exactly.
Right. So if someone were doing this as a part of their private practice, they might do, they might find videos that they would repost. I suppose can you do things like that? Repost videos to your own site? Or are YouTube's pretty much, or links to other videos that you can say, oh, go look at this kind of thing? Or is that more of a website thing?
You can provide links to other related videos, but this is pretty much content that you're putting out yourself.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So then it would be a video about a concept, about, if you're doing private practice, you might be doing something about things to do to get through the holidays, or having a family meeting to set the New Year's resolutions for the couple or for the family, or those kinds of things, managing your child going to school for the first time, or whatever it is that's related to the kind of work you do.
Correct.
Okay.
So what we focused on pretty much the time, and we were doing this for, what was the time?
Yeah, top of the hour. So just a few more minutes. Yep.
So yeah, what this video focused on, or this recording, whatever, webinar, was about creating the channel. And I think we did need that time. This is very much a 101 thing, starting with where you're at. And I like that it's catered towards Florida Interest Network. So this is focused about kind of creating and managing the channel.
Yes.
So then there's also the whole question of like how you create the content. So and that's actually the product that you're marketing through the channel.
Mm-hmm.
So this is about the process, and then there's the process about creating the content. So that's a whole nother conversation for another time.
Yeah. That sounds good. Yeah. And there may be folks who watch this that already know how to create videos. They just have never really thought about how such videos present a story of their practice or whatever it is that they want to put out in the world.
Right. What other questions, applications, comments?
Well, I would love to hear from Tom and Meredith. What did you find useful? What do you not know yet that you'd like to know?
I was just going to say something like this, creating your own video on YouTube, and then adding that onto your website, that would create a lot of hits and a lot more customers would contact you. That's how I see it. I mean, that's one way of seeing it.
Mhm.
I think it's one way for clients or potential clients, whoever you're working with, to get a sense of who you are and how you present yourself, how you work. And I'm a visual learner, so it's very helpful to be able to walk through each of the steps and be able to see that. Thank you, Sarah, for helping us with that. That's been really helpful for me. I'm not a techie. I'm a novice, and so this is very helpful to me.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Agreed, Sarah. Thank you, because I'm also very visual and I'm an experiential learner, so I like the hands-on approach, you know.
Yeah.
I agree with Meredith. I think it's really important for clinicians to be very mindful of their social media presence and be very careful what they're actually posting. I think
Absolutely.
that would be important because we are public people, so we have to make sure that we have a separation between our private and our public life. At least that's how I see it, and that's
Absolutely.
how I teach my students. I think it would be really important to be careful.
Well, it seems then it would make it would be good to have Sarah come back to maybe talk to us a little bit further about the making of content and thinking through the making of that content. And so for those of you listening, look for future videos related to this. And it looks like we've got 2 parts of a multi-part series on using electronic means to market yourself and to get yourself out there in the world as a professional. So again, thank you, Sarah, and we hope to see you again soon.
I appreciate it.
Take care, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.